Hello again, Struck Co-op. Welcome back to another evening of streaming, or day, if it's a different time zone where you are. Today I will be continuing my series of experiments in Chaosbane, so we will be farming a little, experimenting, testing stuff. My tradition sometimes, actually most of the times I make a build, my tradition is to log in on the build I made and play it for a while. So I will start with the build I uploaded today. This build, I decided to call it the the Blazing Bomber because, well, it's using test bombs and it's using the Blaze set. Short and catchy, I guess. So I will play a few maps on this build and this setup, and then I want to make a new one. After that I want to make a setup. I promise tomorrow that today I will experiment using Refreshing Blast in a build and using Iron Dragon in a build. So I will make a build like that tonight. But first let's play a little bit on the Blazing Bomber and see how that goes for everyone.
By the fire of the Matrix, feel the light of Warhammer flames consume you.
Ah fuck, I forgot to move away from the explosion. Very bad start. Very bad start. I totally forgot. I'm still warming up. Still warming up. But yeah, don't stay in those explosions. All right, that's gotta wake me up properly.
By the fire of the forge! May your enemies feel the light of my arm! Burn by the fire of the forge!
Ah fuck. I was just about to move. I was just about to move. Very nice start, very nice start. But yeah, don't blame it on the build, blame it on me being bad at driving. Alright, let's hope we actually kill something this time.
By the fire of the forge!
And obviously he moved away from the damage. Tower is probably not the best place to be warming up.
Let my dwarven flames consume you!
Where did he go? I can't... okay, I see it.
Of my arm! Dwarven flames consume you!
Ah fuck, just when I use my mortar he moved away. Okay, finally. Let's do relic hunt now. Oh, and I think I need to sell some stuff. That's my problem right now. The storage. I barely have room. I only have 3 empty slots. I have to sell some shit. I mean, it needs to be done. This one's going away. Let's see, any helmets I can get rid of. This one. And all of that gear I'm just saving not for myself, I'm saving that gear in case someone else needs it. In case I end up playing with people who might need the items. Okay, sold some helmets. Let's check the pants. If I can sell some. And Immortal is back. Wait, you can just freely trade? Yeah, you can freely trade in the game. You can freely trade. Basically, you trade like this. You get the item, you drop it on the floor, and anyone can pick it up. That's how you trade in this game. I'm not a fan of free trading games, but thankfully this game is not popular enough for people to start selling items for real money. So thankfully the game's not popular enough for people to start botting and exploiting and selling items for real money, and ruining that whole experience with that bullshit. So at least there's that. The silver lining to the game not being this popular. I mean, I would love for the game to actually become more popular. Alright, let's see. Anvil Strike. And actually, if someone plays the game and is on Steam and wants some gear, you're actually gonna fucking help me. I really need to get rid of some items. My storage is full, my inventories of every hero are full, but I'm kind of a hoarder, so so I'm not getting rid of stuff easy. Alright, let's get rid of some items though. I mean, I gotta get rid of some stuff. Let's get rid of some powder carrier. I'm gonna get rid of this builder tassets. Let's get rid of the one with less HP. Blaze. What's my Blaze tasset? 17,000 HP. And I've got one with 19,000, which I should probably equip. And one with 16,000. This one's counter-attack damage, that's why I probably had it equipped. Okay, I can get rid of this. You can install and make a level 1. You got all expansions, etc., but kinda gave up on the game quickly. Well, you know, I can boost you if you, but you're still gonna have to complete your story. But you can be max level in no time, in a few maps. In a few maps, I can take you to Chaos 10 or Chaos 9 and boost you to level 50. But you still gonna need to complete the main campaign eventually, so you can unlock some skills and stuff and passives. And the blessing system, I think you need to do something story related. Alright, I saw legs that I wanna equip. Where did they go? 19,000. Let's bless them. My old ones, my old Blaze tassets are 6,000 HP blessed. Okay. Let's try again. I want better rolls. I want better rolls on the damage. I want it to be at least 3,900. 3874, not so bad, but come on, give me better roll. I know you wanna give me better roll. Okay, this is good. We're keeping this. Okay, let's sell some boots. Actually, never mind. There isn't much to sell. I'm gonna sell this shit. Okay, now I've made some room. Let's go farming. Which toon is good? Slayer, Engineer and Mage are good starting heroes. So the Dwarf Slayer, the Dwarf Engineer, and the High Elf Mage. Those would be very good choices as your first hero. They've got decent builds that can do Chaos 10. They've got plenty of builds. Well, not plenty, but a solid amount of builds you can do Chaos 8 with for farming purposes. But if you want Chaos 10, they all have at least one or more builds that can do it. And they're fun to play. At least to me. To me they're fun. This build is kind of an exotic build. It's not your typical meta setup, but it's very fun. It's not what I typically use. But yeah, if you want super high crits, if you want super high damage, the Dwarf Slayer is the way to go. Bragi and the Dwarf Slayer probably gets the highest possible crits in the game in terms of numbers. And he has a skill that gives him invulnerability for 4 seconds. So if you play it well, even though he's squishy, you can do a ton of damage and just rotate. Evade until your invulnerability is back up. There's a healing skill he's got as well. So rotating properly the healing, invulnerability and movement skills is how Bragi survives. And I'm gonna make the text version of this either later tonight or tomorrow for the website and text version. I've got the screenshots ready. I just need to fix the text, attach the text to the screenshots and stuff. But at least the build video is ready for now, for this one. And we'll be making a new build today as well on stream. A new build that would be pretty fun to make. I've always wanted to make a build with Iron Dragon, and I think it's ripe for the making right now. Fuck, my mobility skill wasn't ready. And I couldn't move past him. For some reason my hero kept shooting grenades when I told her to walk. I really wish there was a force walk button, like holding control, ignoring the attack on my left click and just moving. That would have been amazing. Fuck, stop dying.
Let my dwarven flames consume you.
I can't move. Definitely much harder to play this non-meta build compared to some of the other ones, because the damage is nowhere near as good as the other setups. I mean, it's okay, but it's nowhere near what you can do on a melee build or on a mortar build with the mortar heroic. And without turrets for extra passive damage, where you can just let it do damage itself, it's a little tricky. Some enemies, like this fucking knight that has so much more HP, sometimes those knights are harder to kill than bosses. They're tricky because they do so much damage with their fucking flamethrower. So all my times of dying was to this shitty knight and its overpowered flamethrower damage over time. And I actually have some resistance to damage over time. I have 32.7 resistance to damage over time. May not seem like much, but it is a solid number. Let's see how many pieces of equipment. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 5 pieces of equipment, armors, give me resistance to damage over time. So yeah, and then there's ring. 2 rings with resistance to damage over time that I've got. So yeah, having 6 out of 10 items rolled for resistance to damage over time. And I still take a ton of damage from it, so they're overpowered, those knights. If you don't have enough damage reduction, I mean, damage reduction is king for survivability here. Stacking damage reduction into HP is mostly what you need. It would trump resistance to damage over time in most cases. Let's keep going. And YouTube says, hey Struck, back on the Quasi game, good times. Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else I can play right now that I enjoy, I might as well go back to my backup games, to the games that I always feel at home when I play those. And it's this one and Torchlight 3. Torchlight 3 right now, unfortunately I just can't enjoy it when I can't access my storage. I hope they fix the storage problems in Torchlight 3 with the next patch, but until they do, I'm kind of stuck to not playing it. Which sucks, because I still have some unfinished business in Torchlight 3, some builds I wanted to make and to experiment with. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna do one more map on this build and then start working on the next build. With the next one, I would make it in such a way where my... Oh wait, I'm missing my passive. I just realized I was missing my heroic skill last run. I was wondering what was happening. So yeah, this skill was removed because I changed some armors, and when you change armors it unequips your heroic skills. Because it counts the action of switching one piece of equipment with another, it counts it as unequipping the set item, which breaks the set, which breaks the heroic bonus, and then it doesn't count, it doesn't re-equip it when you equip the same thing. I think the way they should make it is instead of unequipping the heroic skills, you should disable them until you re-equip the item of that set. Otherwise they should be just disabled, like many other games do. Okay, let's do Nurgle. That should do. So let's check. I really need a button to force walk, to force move. Let's get the healer first. Actually, they're both easy to kill, but yeah, I'd rather kill the healer first. Might be a quicker run, and maybe since it's gonna be a quicker run, I might not get all the chests, because there isn't enough density here. You have to walk around to find more monsters to kill after finishing the boss. I mean, I could rush to the boss right now, he's very close, but I'm gonna go back and kill some extra monsters so we can unlock at least 2 chests. Even if I don't get 3 chests before I kill the boss, that's fine. So yeah, let's take this detour.
May your enemies feel the light of my arm. The fire of the forge!
Did we get the dragon, the demon prince? I think we got the demon prince and NPC. Oh, and obviously there's a healer messing with me, fucking up my burst damage. Terry says, have you given up on... what do you mean, have you... Ah, the witch hunt? I didn't give up on it, I made it yesterday, it's just not a... it's not a Chaosbane build. I made it yesterday, but I made this build before the witch hunter build last night. Last night I did 3 builds last night. This build I made, then I reworked my trap build on Elessa, the ambush trapper, so there's gonna be a new video for the ambush trapper soon. And I came up with that build I was playing at the end of my stream last night, but it's not a Chaosbane build. And Witch Hunter Chaosbane, it's just not gonna happen. If someone can make me a Witch Hunter Chaosbane build that can do Chaos 10 runs within, let's say, 5 minutes. That's a reasonable amount of time for a Chaos 10 run. So sure, okay, then it will happen, but I just can't find such a build. I don't think the game, I mean, I know that the Witch Hunter is super underpowered and you can't have both damage and survivability at the same time for Chaos 10 on the Witch Hunter. So the thing is, you don't need to do Chaos 10. What do you get in Chaos 10 that you don't get? A little bit of extra XP. A little bit of extra XP and that's it. The wood quality is you can ignore the extra wood quality on Chaos 10 because it's just 300 per Chaos. So whether I have 300 or 600 less wood quality than Chaos 10 when doing Chaos 9 and 8, it's not gonna affect me much when you're talking about numbers like 10,000 per run, 11,000 wood quality on a run. Losing 600 is not gonna break my drops. So just think of a Witch Hunter, think of the Witch Hunter as a character that hasn't, that stops at Chaos 8 and 9. Forget about Chaos 10, you don't need it. It's not like you must farm Chaos 10. Imagine that Chaos 10 doesn't exist when doing Witch Hunter. Alright, now I wanna do a build with this, as I mentioned. And I wanna rework the god skills now. So I'm wondering what to take. Probably the damage reduction. As I mentioned, I will be taking this and I will be taking this. Not sure if I want this one. So this one that permanent burning aura. Wait, move mountains mastered. Should I use move mountains mastered? It's physical damage. And I'm doing a fire damage setup, so probably won't use move mountains mastered. What's the difference? 0.4 per stack, and here it's 0.4 per stack. But let's say I don't use it for the damage and rather use it for the other stuff. Critical damage 20%, critical damage. Here I get damage over time instead of critical damage. So I can get crit damage buff. And that's 5 stacks of 20. Oh, okay. I can consider this. So I can save some points. And then if I go here, I'm getting extra armor, HP, resistance. I want some damage stats. Let's see if I go damage. Where was the damage on this side? Is it? Should I go and use the trap? This one, the bomb. Fire damage. This will give me armor piercing. I'm just thinking of what to combine this with. I definitely want more Grim Smite. And I want to get some crit damage stats, so I'm thinking of probably going this way for the crit damage. But I'm not gonna get much. I've got 17 points left. I can get 100 crit damage here, but if I go this way, I can get 80. What if I max out my HP and get as much HP as I can get? And I definitely want diversion tactic. Or do I? Now here's the thing, do I want diversion tactic? I mean, this is 30% extra damage, this is 40% extra damage. What about the cost reduction? Where do I get the most cost reduction? Cost reduction might be key to this build. Let's say I remove those points here for now. I wanna see where the cost reduction is hiding them. If only I could highlight stuff. I can get cost reduction if I go this way. I can get cost reduction if I go this way as well. Where is that cost reduction? Let's find it. Cost reduction here, and there's damage over time, damage over time, damage over time. And this way the cost reduction is over here. This probably might end up turning into a damage over time build, honestly. So I want refreshing blast. I've decided yesterday I want to make a build with refreshing blast. But shit, that's with overheating explosions. Alright, so that's how it's gonna be. I will have the overheating explosions then. Which means I need 4 more points here. If not 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points if I'm gonna be doing explosions. Not this, but this again. Or maybe I can go for this one. Oh, this one also won't cause an explosion. So yeah, I will need that one again. What if I go for this instead of that one? I'm probably gonna have to get rid of this damage reduction here. So that 6% cost reduction, it's just gonna cost me dearly. So I'll just grab more damage over time, I think. Okay, this should do the trick. Immortal says uninstalled already, really not my thing this game. Okay, understand. Armen says, hi there, will there be something new in Chaosbane? Do you know? I don't know. I wish I knew if there will be something new coming in Chaosbane. I just don't I don't think the developers will be notifying us anytime soon, but I really hope they consider at least dropping a few lines on Twitter to tell us if there's gonna be new updates soon or not. I mean, people wanna know, me including in that. I'm also counting myself as part of the people who want to know whether there's gonna be more content coming. Let's say I'm not taking mortar, but rather maybe... Should I take a turret? We need explosions though, so that's better. So similar to the build I was playing, just without Engineer of War. That means I can probably put something like long rifle maybe. And over here instead of this, I'm thinking of going more defensive, sacrificing some... I'm gonna sacrifice some health and crit damage and all of that stuff, but I want padded armor so I can be beefy. And I would probably... I mean, we've got 3 points. For 3 points, might as well grab that potion for damage reduction. We want diversion tactic as well in the setup. That means I have to sacrifice something. I really wanted this one, but it has to go. It has to go. The difference is the crit damage. I'm losing that 100% crit damage. But at least now I can put this thing. Alright, let's do a quick test run on the dummies first. In 80 says there's a big update on Wilson. A big update in Wilson? I doubt it's gonna be changing the things I want to see changed in the game, but let's read the news. New content update. Bloodstorm Part 2. They gotta be fucking kidding me. More with that Bloodstorm. New environment, new monsters, the wood filter improvements, animation improvements, quality of life improvements, and bug fixes. I mean, I'm gonna read the post and share my screen. Just a moment. This has me interested, but I kind of think it won't be what I suspect it will be. Let's quickly read. Wood filter UI, okay, good. Wood filter UI, that's fancy, good. Item indicators, okay, sure. Boat on the ground, sure, okay. That's just fancy stuff. Okay, I appreciate the fancy stuff. New monsters, okay, fine. Animations update. Improvements in the animations. Quality of life, that's what I wanna know. Yeah, that's good quality of life, but still not changing the stuff I want. Maximum stacks, good, that's a great one. Great change. The latest difficulty chosen, yeah. Nope, that's a nope from me. Still a nope to that game from me. And looking at the patch notes, still not the stuff I want to see changed. So yeah. Wolsen still gets the nope stick. But yeah, this thing I wanna test. The problem would be generating energy without scrap. It won't work well. But the damage seems nice. The damage seems nice. I wonder if I should mix in some melee in this and just add turrets for survivability. I might do it. If I use this melee or this melee. I'm just wondering which one would generate more energy, but let's give it a go like that. If need be, I will rework the setup.
By the golden flames, consume you! Forged by the gods, let my dwarven flames consume you!
It's so bad to use this. Especially on enemies that constantly keep teleporting like this guy.
Gods!
And the worst part is it's not even standing in one place. She's actually moving, so you can't hold your ground. While she's channeling this flamethrower, she's actually moving.
Forged by the gods!
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be happening. It's just too weak. The damage of this Q is too weak to justify the fucked up animation. And just super bad damage. I mean, even the previous build I was just playing was better than a build with Iron Dragon. I'm not even gonna try anymore with Iron Dragon. I could try a Forge Launcher build. Let me just see something else. Refreshing Blast is just not gonna happen. To make a build, and the jet stream even worse. The damage on the jet stream is just so bad that it's not worth it. Alright, I'm not gonna be thinking of setups with that. Setups with this one would be nice though. Let's try something like that. Two to 4 1 1 256. I'll need some more. Maybe sacrifice some damage. Should I go move mountains? It's 35-second cooldown, or this one with 23. For 5% extra cooldown reduction, the other one has too big of a cooldown. So maybe Engineer of War would be the better option. But then I'm losing that cooldown, the 5-second cooldown, the 5% cooldown. Oh, there is cooldown here. Good. We are fine. And then some extra crit damage, I guess, over here. Okay, so change of plans now. I wanna see something with Forge Launcher. By the way, which one is the skill that has counterattack in the skill itself? I think it was the mines. This one has counterattack damage. We'll see how that works. I don't think I'm gonna be using this, but this one I can try and use, but only 16% right now. Only 16% right now. Feel like I'll need an energy skill, but let's say I don't do an energy skill and go for a launcher here. What should I fuel this with? I've got a fueler. I can probably use a regular mortar. And then with 7 points, something like this seems right. Alright, let's test this. Let's see how this goes.
Burned by the fire of the forge!
The energy is the problem right now.
Pulverize you! Burn by the fire of the forge. I will pulverize you!
The mines do 10 million. The mines can do 10 million, so they're nice. They're better than the launcher. The launcher doesn't seem to do as much damage. I should have tested on the dummy first before jumping in.
By the fire of the forge! I will pulverize you!
Yeah, I think the mines are the better one out of the two, so I'm probably gonna remove the launcher and add some sort of energy gaining skill.
By the fire of the forge! I will pulverize you! Burn by the fire of the forge! I will pulverize you! Burn by the fire of the forge!
Intentionally avoiding the melee skill, because I don't want to keep making builds where I'm relying on heavy pounding and the melee hammer to get some extra damage and survivability. The tricky part with the mines is you need to be right next to the enemy. It's got a very short radius and very short trigger sensitivity. Like, you need to be right next to the enemy,
Fire of the forge!
or at least another enemy needs to be nearby to trigger it. Let's see the damage of the god skill. The god skill's damage is very bad. I mean, just the mine does 621,000 physical. This one does 640. So this one does more if you consider the counterattack extra bonus, then almost more if you consider that bonus damage. But if I go for the fire version and ignore the whole counterattack shit, it would be better. So this whole god skill is pointless. I'm gonna remove it.
Burn by the fire of the forge! I will pulverize you! Burn by the fire of the forge!
I really wanted to include this in a build, but the other god skills give you survivability and damage and other things like buffs. This one is just damage. The cooldowns not justifying this little damage.
Burn by the fire of the forge!
Alright, let's collect and rework the skills a little. I'm not a fan of this. What was the name? Experimental explosive. Not a fan at all. I can show you on the dummy what I mean. Let's do it now. So you're gonna see the damage this shit does on the dummy without any buffs or anything.
I will pulverize you!
So pretty bad. And consider that let's get some energy going.
Burn by the fire of the forge.
Get some energy. Okay, now I hope the crawler is not there to mess up. So let's show you the launcher. 2 million, 2 million, and it's doing explosive damage. 4 million, 3 million. Okay, that's with the overheating, the damage going up. But yeah, it goes to 4 million, which is not bad. Now let's show you the mine. 5 million. $5 million. That's without do this chain reaction or anything. If I do this chain reaction, okay, I think I could do excavation. And let's rework the god skills. We don't need this because we're not taking the explosives. And we're not using the sharpened shrapnel, because even if I get this extra bonus damage to go higher, it's not gonna be worth it. To change my gear from flat damage to counter-attack damage. So this side of the skill tree, useless. One point. Okay, let's go melee then. Let's just show you what we can achieve if we go for a more melee oriented setup. Recycling's not bad, we can save it, but let's remove it for now. So first let's equip this. And okay. Just trying to squeeze the best possible things I can. I think HP might be nice at this point. The mine doesn't count as a cooldown skill because it doesn't have a cooldown. So there's that tricky part of the mines. They consume energy. So if we use excavation for buffing each other, we want to use this first. Let's use the god skills I selected. Those two god skill passives. Now, using move mountains, and we have 3 points left. And for the mines, we can try and go for the fire one. That leaves us with room for we will need some damage reduction for the mine build. The mine build will need damage reduction, so I'll get padded armor, I guess, and then this one, I guess. But that's just for champions. Might as well get flat 10% damage, it's not so bad. Or I can reduce my excavation and get something else. Energy gain 2, energy gain 2, energy gain 2. Okay, this one. Damage reduction and damage and good stuff. Let's see now. If I do 4, 1. I just have a feeling that the energy regeneration won't be the way I want it to be. I removed recycling. Yeah, this is just not gonna work. Not gonna work. The mines leave you so fucking vulnerable. And if you wanna make a mines build, you have to sacrifice your damage and get a bunch of damage reduction. But if you do that, then you're not gonna do damage at all, because they already have shit damage. Mines are just not an option. Let's try a map with the mines. Just maybe the tower is not the best way to test it. I'm gonna try a map without any modifiers, just the first few fights. The first few fights will give me an idea if there's a point to keep experimenting more with this, or whether I should move to another skill. If I move and leave mines, they can die by themselves, but the thing is you need something more than just that. Oh, and instead of mortar we want turrets, probably. For the duelist chain reaction, so we can spam it. But it's again turning out to be like the other melee builds, and I don't like that. It's not worth it. It's not worth making this. The mines don't do enough damage to justify taking it. It doesn't count as a melee skill, it doesn't count as a skill with cooldown, so you can benefit from the things that melee and skill with cooldowns give you. And it just leaves you vulnerable, and you have to sacrifice so many things for it. I can try one last thing. One last thing. Just more damage reduction, that's what I'm gonna try. If this fails, then it's just not gonna be. If I can make it face tank, like the other melee builds, and still get reasonably okay damage, I'm fine, but if the damage sits, then there's not much to be fine about. See, the damage now is very bad. I mean, for the time I'm placing 2 mines, I can do 1 heavy pounding, and heavy pounding can do 10 times the damage. Just to give you an idea of what I mean when I say it's not worth it. See, I'm not even face tanking as much as I wanted. I mean, I can get a little bit more face tanky if I get this thing. What was its name? This one. Oh, and since I'm no longer using diversion tactic, or I remember that I removed it, that means I can save some points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. Okay, and get some more damage. Let's finish this map and try and get more damage. And maybe, since I don't have room for another skill, I can get another skill. I can try and get more HP and more damage. I'm wondering what I would need more HP or more damage. Right now I need neither of those things as much as the other one.
I will pulverize you.
Ah, what the fuck killed me? I didn't even notice what got me. How was this even possible? Maybe this guy from afar and I didn't see the tentacle. That could have been it. The only reasonable explanation how I would die that easy would be this guy making a tentacle from afar without me noticing. Could have been. I mean, the mines are still doing their own thing. They still work.
I will pulverize you!
And they do work, but again, much slower than some of the other setups. And again, I have to go for the melee stuff to get it to work. If I'm not using the melee hammer, it's just not gonna happen. So either this hammer or this hammer, the cocktooth. Where did my upgraded one go? Oh, it's on the other setup. Obviously this one's better because it's 15% damage reduction, whereas this one is 10. This one is for 5 seconds, this one is for 3 seconds. Alright, let's go finish the boss, and then I want to do some more modifications to the passive skill tree, the god skills. Ah, fucking healer. The weird thing about mines is it might do a serious burst, like just now how this big guy died by stepping on like 5-6 mines at the same time. You can have up to 10 of them. Alright, let's quickly finish this, and I wanna do some changes to the passives. Maybe the mine setup, I didn't set out today to do a mine setup, I wanted to do a refreshing blast, but I guess the mine one is the one that was meant to be today. More crit damage. More damage. Maybe like this it would work. I wanna see what I lost. Damage to champions, damage, armor piercing, damage, armor piercing, damage, damage over time. I think I got more than I lost. If I'm not mistaken, this goes to 50%. Let's see. Wait, what? Oh, I forgot this. So my damage is 100k right now with 14 stacks. And now it's 139k. Okay. Freddy Dell says, does this game still get updated? And also, would you compare this to like Diablo 3 in terms of replayability? In terms of replayability, it's far from Diablo 3, yet still very similar. I mean, you don't have rifting, you have expeditions. And you don't have bounties. But you do have a tower, an endless tower. That you can do and reach as high as you want on the difficulty you select. But yeah, expeditions are basically you can make your own map. You select the act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and act 1 also has act 6. So this one is act 1 or act 6 enemies. Maps, I mean, and you select some affixes and just select 4 of those that you like. and make a map and then just run it. That's how this one goes. And you can upgrade it to make it better and stronger. You have boss rushes where you can run boss fights, but once you've done them a few times it gets super boring. And you have invasions which are very outdated. They're outdated, but they can give you some items that can only drop in invasions. Some green rings that can only drop in invasions. And they can give you access to some passive skills and passive potion. I mean, it's like a skill, but it's modifying the potion, and this is a skill. For example, I'm actually using this passive skill, Duelist Chain Reaction. It's a very nice one. So you have those 3 passives and those 3 potion-related passives, and then you have three types of rings you can get in invasions. And as you complete those maps, you just unlock them, and the invasions keep going in rank. And the higher the rank, the more the extra damage and HP and stuff for the enemies. Every rank gives the enemies some bits of damage and HP. I think it was 0.5. I think it was 5%. Yeah, 5% damage and 5% HP, and 100 wood quality for each invasion rank. And you start with rank 1 all the way to 10 unlocked, and if you complete rank 10, you unlock all the way to rank 19. That's kind of about the replayability. Regarding the replayability of this game. As for regular updates, the last update took them 6 months, from June to December. So in June they gave us the Tower of Chaos update, which gave us this Tower of Chaos mode. In December they gave us the Witch Hunter, and they also gave us versions for Xbox Series X, S and PlayStation 5 of the game. Which was probably the reason why the patch took so long. And they also did I say they gave us the Witch Hunter? I think I did. Yeah, they gave us the Witch Hunter class as a new purchasable class. But the team is small, it doesn't have Blizzard budget behind it, and they've probably already moved on to a different project. Probably, I can't tell you for sure. They're just rumors. What I'm saying right now is rumors. People were saying that that Echo Games, the developers, are hiring for a new game, or they were hiring 2 months ago or so. Whether them hiring for a new game means that they would be reallocating every single developer from this game to the new one, or whether there would be still some people updating this game, we don't know. They haven't told us. Echo Games is terrible when it comes to communicating with us. Every now and then there might be a Twitter post or so, but yeah, they were very bad in terms of communicating with us when it comes to this game. Maybe when it comes to their other games, their community manager is doing well, but when it comes to this game, there's a lot more to be desired in terms of transparency. And I mean, it doesn't fucking hurt to every month or every 2 weeks to write drop a couple of lines on Twitter. Drop a couple of lines on Twitter to say, hey, we're working on this, blah blah blah, we're doing that. I mean, it's not that hard. Even once a month to just update your community on the status, on the progress of the game. It's not bad. It's publicity, and it's also calming the community a bit that the game hasn't been abandoned. But with this game that's not the case. You don't know what's happening. I don't know whether there's gonna be another update right now. I'm honest here. I'm not gonna bullshit people and tell them there will be one if I'm not sure about it. And since the game is pretty much dead in terms of co-op, unless you have friends or you get very lucky, you're not gonna see other people playing with you. So people need to know about this. Before getting this game, this is the biggest thing you need to know. It's gonna be super hard to find others to play with unless your friends buy it with you. Or you have siblings. See, the good thing about this game is on one computer, 4 people can play it. On one PlayStation, on one Xbox, up to 4 people can play it. Player 1 is here, player 2 I think is here or there. So you can have in each corner, you can have in each corner the interface of each player. So this one, mirror it, flip it, and it goes here as another. So this one, flip it the other way around, and there's one here. So you can have 4-player co-op on a single machine, and not just console but also PC. I can show you here, manage players. I can add players. If I have 3 controllers, I can have my friends come visit my house and play on my machine, and that's pretty nice. That is pretty nice to have up to 4-man local co-op. So if you have siblings or you're a couple that plays together, or you have parents that want to play with you, or children that want to play with you, like if you're a parent yourself, you can play that game in the same household with others on the same machine. That's one of the biggest bonuses of this game, to be honest. But content-wise, there are some things that could use a rework, like the invasion node right now is very outdated. The invasion nodes system. It's a good idea for a mode, but it stops at Chaos 6, and that might be a bit too easy for some people. I mean, they buried the invasion mode by adding extra Chaos ranks. If they stopped at Chaos 7, being the highest possible difficulty, things would have been great. If they stopped at Chaos 7 being the highest possible difficulty, invasion being maxed out at Chaos 6 would have been fine. But they kept adding new Chaos ranks. From 7 they went to 8. From 8 they jumped straight to 10. I think that was the worst thing they did to this game. Bloating, copying Diablo and adding torment levels, which in this game are called Chaos difficulties or whatever. Chaos ranks, Chaos levels. Yeah, this mine setup is very squishy. It's very squishy and hard to make it work. I mean, if people like playing with mines, that's a setup I can suggest to them. But they're gonna need to be very careful when it comes to boss fights and stuff. But it does damage. The damage is not missing. You don't see it immediately, but eventually it happens. When you lay a bunch of mines on the ground, the damage becomes real. And it's probably the most damage you can do in this game with an energy cost skill that is not heavy pounding. The most damage per second you can do with an energy cost skill. After heavy pounding. Heavy pounding is still the king of energy cost skills in terms of damage. But it's so squishy. It's so squishy. I'll do an experiment and use a granite ring instead of insulation. and see how that goes. And let's see if I change this for something else. Let's say and there isn't anything else I can put right now that I would like. Bloodstone is nice, but I don't have a good one. I wanna go all in on the damage reduction and see how much I can squeeze from it. Okay, I need to reset. Build my stacks.
Metal run through your veins. I will pulverize you.
The damage is bad now. After I got more damage reduction, the damage is bad. I mean, the builds I've made so far I think are plenty, but when I try to test those weak skills, the results are bad. I mean, this is struggling to do Chaos 8. It's not doing Chaos 8 with ease, so that's bad. Let's move on to another hero. Enough of this, it might seem bad. I was hoping I can make a new build, but yeah, it's not happening. Okay, let's switch heroes. Which hero do you want to see, folks? I'm gonna give you some time to decide between Dwarf Slayer, between Human Soldier, High Elf Mage, I'm not sure what this is called, Forest Elf, or whatever type of elf, Scout, and the Human Witch Hunter. I'd rather not do Witch Hunter now, so maybe choose from the other ones, from Bragi, Volen, Eontir, and Elessa. The Wizard. The Wizard, it is. If someone wants to see something else, we can show it later. So here comes the Wizard. The Mage is fun. I've got 4 ready builds on the Mage that I can switch between. I'm not gonna be making a new one unless someone wants me to show something new. But, for example, I used to, long ago, my very first experience with this class was using Ether Blast. But since then I've moved on to other things. So I'm gonna show you the more glass cannon setup, the Dragon Tamer, first. It's a melee semi-glass cannon. It's still a little bit tanky, but it's gonna struggle on Chaos 10 to survive as much as Ult 1. Ult 1, for example, can survive easily on Chaos 10, but does much less damage. Okay, shit, this is invulnerable. I need to kill the 2 temps. You can see this one's killing stuff with ease. Compared to the fucking engineer I was playing, this one does 30-40 million, up to 40 million per hit on a regular monster, but 20-30 million is easy. And that's just per fucking hit. Just swinging his sword once. On the same difficulty on Chaos 8. And it can survive. So you can see how huge the difference is. On the Engineer I have a melee build where I can do 20, 30, 50 and 60 million just by swinging my hammer into the ground. So it's not like she doesn't have a good build. I was just testing different new things, trying to figure out something new. But the mines, the flamethrower, the rocket launcher, they're just not great skills on Kiwa. They're not greatly balanced. If it were up to me, they would have multiple times their current damage. Let's try and show you Chaos 9 with this one. I think Chaos 9 is good for him. On this build. Chaos 10, he's gonna have some problems surviving on Chaos 10 unless I go ult 1. Alright. If someone has a certain skill they wanna see in action, do tell me. Of this guy, if you wanna see a specific skill. I can try and rework a build and then show you what can be done with that specific skill. Let's do this. What's the time? 11:19 p.m. Okay, it's still early. Still got some time left. Keep moving. Okay, one key unlocked. Good. I like on this class that you have this mechanic. See, right now I'm controlling this bubble and I'm moving the bubble as I'm moving. It's following my cursor, and when I press spacebar, it's starting to move towards the direction of my cursor. Like, let's show you. It's very fun. I love this mechanic. I'm not sure how it's done on console. You probably need to use the second stick or something on console, or you maybe need to hold the button and then move the second stick. I'm not sure how it will be on console, but on mouse and keyboard I'm just holding spacebar and it just follows my cursor while I'm holding it. Tel says made build without that bubble. You can have build with the bubble. The bubble is not that important, but it does give you damage reduction, cooldown reduction, and movement speed. And if you go for the other versions of it, of the bubble, the basic version gives you movement speed and cooldown, and this one gives you damage, movement speed, and cooldown. So movement speed and cooldown reduction is always there. But this one gives you damage reduction, this one gives you damage, and this one is the more basic. And then the mastered version, the heroic version I mean, is different. I love the bubble. I mean, yeah, you can make a build without it, it's not necessary. But it really helps to have it. I just don't see another cooldown skill worth replacing the bubble with. Because the bubble is a cooldown skill, which means it can trigger duelist chain reaction. And you don't have many options. The options for a skill with cooldown are Step Between Worlds, Blinding Light, and Etheric Vortex. This one is not cooldown, this one is not cooldown, this one is not a cooldown skill. This one is not a cooldown skill, this one is not a cooldown skill, and this one is not a cooldown skill. So you don't have much choices. In fact, I'm using all 3 cooldown skills. You can use 2. 2 are fine. 2 cooldown skills are fine because they changed the chain reaction to last for 6 seconds. It used to last for 4 seconds. But they removed one of the stacks. So you can no longer get 4 stacks, you can only get 3 stacks. So kind of a nerf, but at the same time made it easier to keep it up. So 2 cooldown skills should get the job done. You have to remove either Binding Light or the bubble or Step Between Worlds. I wouldn't suggest removing Step Between Worlds because it's just mobility, and in those games it's always nice to have a mobility skill. Unless you're playing Kelessa, she has mobility as an archetype skill, so her archetype ability is dodge roll, so she doesn't need a mobility skill. But yeah, the bubble is not a must-have thing in every build, but it does help. It really does help. And since you don't have that many options, if you only use duelist chain reaction, from 3 skills pick 2. Or all 3, like me. I can try and show you another setup. I can try and show you a build with the heroic version of Breath of Fire. I'm gonna do it next and show you. Heroic Breath of Fire instead of heroic Phantom Blade. I'm just gonna switch sets to one of my damage over times, to Morvo. That would mean me switching this one for that one. Scepter of Ice instead of Relentless Sentinel. So I'm gonna lose 20% damage reduction from the Relentless Sentinel, and I'm gonna lose 20% damage reduction from Phantom Blade Heroic, which would mean Chaos 10. I would have to forget about Chaos 10. But that's fine. And then I'm losing 100% damage and 10% crit damage while standing still. Standing still means this: I stand still and then after 3 seconds or so this blue circle appears, and then I get 100% damage, 20 damage reduction and 10 crit chance. And in Chaos 10 you would find yourself often using this. But yeah, I'm gonna make a setup now after this map with Scepter of Ice for those who might wanna use it. It's a cool item, so might show you how to use it. The Morvel set is the best for it, I think. Either Morvel or Ult 1, I mean one of the two. Morvel or Ult 1, but I would say Morvel set is the best synergy for the Breath of Fire. And since I'm not gonna be using the heroic Phantom Blade, I will change my blade as well. Because most builds I use Blade of Azar because it's just amazing, and in most builds I use Phantom Blade heroic. But let's use Rift Walker or Blade of Instability. We'll see, one of the two. Alright, let's make that setup. So first, I'm gonna keep those. I'm gonna put them here on the impetuous one. And I'm gonna put Scepter of Ice because I think I don't have another one, so that's the only one I've got. I want to quickly compare my Relentless Sentinel to the Scepter. So I'm losing armor piercing, I am losing HP. See, that's the thing that would hurt the most, losing 16,000 HP. What am I winning for the price of HP? Armor piercing, so I'm switching out health for armor piercing. Not the best thing to do, but it will be that way, because I just don't have a better road one. So then, what blade do I want to use? I have a Blade of Azire with damage over time, but since we are not going to be using Blade of Azire, we're not going to be using Phantom Blade Heroic. I mean, I can use Phantom Blade Heroic if need be. It would work. But let's say we try something else. You want a build with Belcor Adris? Well, I have a build with Belcor Adris. It's this build. The Rift Walker. You can look up Rift Walker and it works great. But it's not a Chaos 10 build, it's a build for up to Chaos 8. Maybe you can try 9, but I'd say Chaos 8 is where it stops being useful. But yeah, on my website and on my YouTube channel, the Rift Walker, I think 2.0 or 3.0 is the last one, is the one with Belcor Adris. With this set. Okay, let's do the Morvo setup. Now let's decide what blade. What blade do you want to see? Rift Eater, a critical hit with magic spell, has a chance to create magic orb that emits a persistent ray for a few seconds, which damages enemies it hits. Or Blade of Instability, casting a fire or magic spell sends forth a wave of the opposite type. The cooldown is different for each of the two types. Or the Soul Fire. Damage is increased for each nearby burning enemy. Keep in mind this does not count as burning, because it's magic damage. But this counts as burning, but the problem with this one is... the problem is... it knocks the enemies away. But let's say I equip my Soul Fire. I'm gonna show you with all the other things. This one is only worth it if you have 10 enemies nearby that are burning that are not gonna get one shot. In most cases they will die very quickly. And on a boss fight, at best you're getting 20% extra damage. Which is still not bad, but probably better to try something else. But okay, let's keep this one for now. Skills and god skills, I'm probably gonna keep them the way they are. It seems like a nice way of making the god skills and skills. I could add this one to the mix, Ether Blast, but then I'll have to get rid of something. And that could be the bubble, if needed. I could get rid of the bubble. But yeah, let's play with this setup first, just so I can show you. And let's switch to Chaos. Oh, it is Chaos 9, okay. Just so you can see how losing that damage reduction could affect the setup. Oh, and we don't need we don't need Phantom Blade anymore. So I can change some of the skills. I mean, I still like Phantom Blade because it's melee. And this still can give me damage reduction. We've got some spare things to do, spare skill points, but there's not many places where I would want to put those skill points. I'm gonna keep this for the damage reduction and this for the damage reduction, and maybe I can just add a better step between worlds, because I've got 7 spare points. I need fire damage. I don't have... This is fire damage, fire, magic. Okay, we've got enough of it. You see, it's very bad. For a heroic skill, it's terrible. It barely does damage to that enemy. If I were to go here, he's gonna die much quicker. The problem is he gets knocked away. And now that damage reduction I lost is making it hard to survive, as I expected. I'm killing stuff though. I can kill stuff, but surviving becomes a little bit harder. And yeah, even though this is a heroic skill, it just doesn't do as much damage as one would want it. And I'm stunned. Okay, now I can move.
May the winds of magic grant me power. May the winds of magic grant me power.
And the thing that did all the damage was actually my heroic blinding light, not the ethereal breath. Let's show it on the dummies. I wanna see the dummy damage. Oh fuck, I moved on to the next floor. Well, okay, we'll do this quickly.
May the winds of magic grant me power.
This 47 million was the circle on the ground. That's what did the 47 million damage.
May the winds of magic grant me power.
Ah, what got me? Oh, poison field on the ground. Yeah, those poison fields on the ground and the blood fields in the other maps are overpowered. I've been asking for those to get nerfed. They never get nerfed. They are ridiculously overpowered. And let's remove the Soulfire and equip something else. Instead of a Soulfire, I'm thinking maybe Blade of Instability. But I need one with cooldown reduction. By the way, is this better? No. But it has HP. HP, but I'm losing the cooldown. And with this one I would lose HP. I'd rather not lose HP. Okay, I can switch to maybe this one.
Grant me power!
You see those beams? That's from the blade. They don't do much damage, but at least it's something. See, I keep knocking him back and I can't get him inside the circle where I want him. Is it increasing my cooldowns? Yeah, makes sense. A fucked up map where my cooldowns are increased. You can see this Breath of Fire so bad in terms of damage compared to using a heroic Phantom Blade from the Blade of Azire, and then using a Relentless Sentinel. Let's just demonstrate on the dummy some things. I'm gonna demonstrate the damage of this and this on the dummy. This is the regular Phantom Blade, nothing too fancy. The regular Master Phantom Blade without the heroic. Now this one, 8 million. 9 million, and that's without much buffs. Let's wait for the buffs to disappear. Well, this buff I can't make it disappear because I'm standing static. I need to move. Look at that, this one is doing 3 million. If I combine this with that, then that, and then this, You see, we're seeing things like 15 million, 17 million, and in the map I did 42. Because there's other things that can buff us. And I've done 60 something with my other setup. So if I were to switch back to my other weapons, like if I do this and go back to Blade of Azire, and I do this, you're gonna see I'm already doing more than before. Already seeing up to 30 million. 20 something, 30 million already.
May the winds of magic grant me power.
So those three dummies here are taking 15, 16, etc. Which one was I using? This Rift Eater, I think. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was the one with the cooldown. Let's try again now.
Winds of magic grant me power.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the damage going into the 20 millions.
Me power. May the winds of magic grant me power.
Okay, let's move now. Let's do a map. I mean, it's an okay setup. It can work. It can work. In fact, let's go Chaos 10. See if I can survive without my survivability on Chaos 10. Without Heroic Phantom Blade's extra damage reduction compared to Mastered, and without the Sentinel, Relentless Sentinel. Thankfully, I'm gonna get carried by my heroic blinding light.
May the winds of magic grant me power.
So using the Rift Eater does a little bit of extra damage on the side, which probably makes up for the damage I lost. So the damage I lost is not the problem, but the survivability I lost would be. Did I change to Chaos? Yeah, I did. Just wanted to make sure.
Grant me power.
My skill points. Those skill points, that's my skill points. Just a moment, I want to make it visible. The stuff makes it a little bit hard to see. But shit, that stuff. Okay, that should make it easy to see. Phantom Blade, Ethereal Breath Heroic, Etheric Storm, Binding Light, Step Between Worlds, Etheric Vortex, Duelist Chain Reaction, Hero of the Desert, Fortress of Willpower, Mastered, Master Equilibrium, Superior, Padded Armor for survivability, and Arcane Binding. And the god skills are only the first god skill tree, so you don't even need the god skill DLC. You're taking the the damage over here, you're taking this damage here, and here we are stopping at the Fortress of Willpower, and we're taking this detour for the cooldown reduction. And we're using this and this, and we're using this. I think Arcane Secrets... Oh, wait, yeah. I must have removed Arcane Secrets. Arcane Secrets can be used though. Arcane Secrets can be used for more damage. Burning enemies take more magical damage. If you want, you can use it. You just have to... You have to sacrifice damage reduction from padded armor. I'm gonna do a run without... I'm gonna do a run like this, and then I'm gonna do another run with the change. With Arcane Secrets. Probably not the Mastered Arcane Secrets, because I'm gonna have 10 points. 10 points should get me this one. This one costs 10 points. I'm not gonna have this one, but still. But I'm already having trouble surviving as it is. Getting rid of padded armor would make things even harder, and that's why on Chaosbane I said this one won't be a great idea to get rid of the two good sources of damage reduction, which are the Phantom Blade Heroic and Relentless Sentinel. Kind of suspected this would be the case. Just wanted to show you why normally I use the other items. I mean, you can still survive and play it. You just have to be a bit more cautious with some attacks and stuff. And the damage doesn't get better to justify reducing your survivability. I mean, if I got like a bump to my DPS, it would have made sense to sacrifice some stuff on the survivability side of things.
May the winds of magic grant me power.
Ah, I got stun-walked. I got stun-walked by the fucking bulls.
May the winds of magic grant me power. Winds of magic grant me power.
And I'm getting one shot. I could have taken this attack. On the other setup, I could have tanked this. This is what 30% damage reduction difference does, or 25, I think. How many percent is it? This one gives 20, and I get another 20% from the heroic version, which means 10% difference between this and the heroic version. Or is it 5? In any case, it's 25 or 30% difference, and that's a huge difference. When you're speaking damage reduction. Right now I'm at 7 million defense, and I can get it to like 20 something, 30. 8 million, but on the other setup I get it much higher. Okay, let's go finish this map.
May the winds of magic grant me power.
So yeah, going for heroic ethereal breath is not the best thing.
Winds of magic grant me power.
But for Chaos 8 you should be fine. I mean, right now this is Chaos 10, so I'm showing you it can be done as Chaos 10, but you would be struggling. It's not gonna make it worth your time, but if you wanna use it that way, you have the option.
Grant me power. May the winds of magic grant me power.
Okay, we got him.
Winds of magic grant me power.
Say hi, Sky. Say hi. That's some ASMR from Sky Pudding. He doesn't like to be held. Oh shit. Sky, just a moment. Just a moment. Okay, so what did I say I'm gonna do next? I said I was gonna change something. Oh yeah, I'm gonna change some skills to show you the survivability. How I can survive without padded armor and with adding arcane secrets for more damage. It's gonna be tougher, for sure it's gonna be tougher to survive. Because we're gonna remove this 10% as well. Now we can have more damage only to burning enemies. Only to burning enemies. And let's do the same mission. So you can see the clear. I'm gonna try to do my best to survive. I'm not gonna intentionally die all the time to prove my point. I'm gonna be doing my best just like last time to survive. And I was struggling already on Chaos 10. This is still Chaos 10 with the survival before. So this would be even trickier. Because with this setup you want to stay in one place and channel. You want to stay in one place and channel the burning. Obviously now from 7-9,000 I'm doing like 12, from 7-9 million I'm doing like 12 million with the Breath of Fire. But when we encounter multiple of those bulls, I'm not sure what they're called, the guys that charges, and we get knockback locked, it could be tough.
May the winds of magic grant me power. May the winds of magic grant me power.
mean, if someone is really interested in this, I could make it as a remix to my Morvo build, to my Blinding Fortress. Kind of change the name, but this in general, this is a remix to the Blinding Fortress build. It's not that much different in terms of how to play it. It's just different items and one different passive. Less survivability, more damage, some more glass cannon version of it, and it's not bad if someone wants to play a bit risky. But the problem is you're not getting that much more damage. But it still clears Chaos 10 reasonably. But including the dying, which probably if you're not that good of a player, I definitely am not that good of a player in terms of dodging and surviving. When you consider the time of dying, resurrecting, etc., it just evens out. But if you adapt the right way to play it, you can see some gains in this. And still better to just switch to ult 1.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
Ah, fuck. See, one hit from those enemies, one buffed up hit, and I'm down. Doesn't get any more glass cannon than one shots from elites.
May the winds of magic grant me power! May the winds of magic grant me power!
Ah, fuck. Hide. Hide and heal. Heal.
May the winds of magic grant me power! May the winds of magic grant me power!
This kind of setup probably would work better on a Dragon Tamer, to be honest. You're not gonna have as much healing on the Dragon Tamer though, because this one heals a lot. The more healing you have, the better this one works. The more the health you have. The more health you have, the more you heal per second with this skill. It also gives you energy, so you can keep spamming this. But it could work well on a Dragon Tamer to kind of make this on the Dragon Tamer so you can get more damage. In fact, do you want to do that next? Let's do that next. This setup on a Dragon Tamer. But the problem is I would have to rework my god skills and maybe items. We'll see. I'm gonna check what the state of my Dragon Tamer is and if I can replicate this build on that one set to see if I can squeeze more damage. I mean, if I'm going glass cannon, might as well use the set with the best damage. We'll definitely lose the big crits from my heroic here, but we will get Arcane Binding heroic, so that's a lot of DPS there.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
Ah. when they get me stuck, it sucks. So I try to get out as quickly as I can. That heroic skill has saved my ass so many times.
May the winds of magic grant me. May the winds of magic grant me power. May the winds of magic grant me power.
Three greens. Okay. Seen better, seen worse rates. I like the drop rates in this game. I'm really happy of right now how the drop rates are in upgraded relic hunts. In upgraded relic hunts, it feels rewarding. It feels the way it needs to be in a water game without a system to reroll the affixes. I mean, if the game had a system where you can reroll the affixes, I would be willing to give it shittier drop rates, because then you get an item, you turn it into materials, and then you just get the stats you want on the item you have right now. Ring of the Veil. I actually wanted to have a Ring of the Veil. Ring of the Veil works very well on heroic Phantom Blade builds with Blade of Azire. You can keep getting energy while swashing, and this works as a mana shield. Basically, when you take damage, it reduces your energy by a big chunk. Every hit you take reduces it by a big chunk, and reduces the damage from that hit by 50%. When you have no energy, then you take the full damage. Every class has one such ring. It's not everyone's favorite type of ring to use. By the way, this is a good Blade of Azire, and I want to compare it to my current one. Just a moment. Actually, that's the damage over time one. Let's compare it to the regular one. Less cooldown, more damage. Like roughly around 600 more damage. Let's say 500 more damage, maybe even less. 440 more damage, and it gives me health drain alongside HP, so that's a good one. I'm swapping out, and it's a new one. The old one is from before they increased the counter attack damage on drops. Yeah, you're losing armor piercing, but you're gaining health drain, and I think that's a good one. I'm gonna bless it. Ooh, look at the drop. 4,448 from 4,480 maximum damage. That's good. That's a good roll on the blessing. All right, so we wanted to make a dragon tamer. A dragon tamer version. Of this build. Right now I'm going for counter attack, so I'm probably gonna switch out my dragon tamer stuff for non-counter attack. The helmet is the only thing that I don't have. Oh shit, did I get rid of my spare Dragon Tamer helmet? Tell me I have one. Fuck. I think I sold it the other day. Oh no, never mind, it's here. It's just in the wrong place. Where is it? There. Okay, so let's change my Dragon Tamer stuff. And let's bless this for damage over time. The gauntlets seem to be... Ah, it's fine. I just get rid of the regular damage and... Wait, why are the boots... Well, I'm gonna suffer because the boots... Oh, never mind, I've got spare boots. In fact, I've got 2. I can choose from one of them. I'm gonna take the one with more HP, obviously. It's the better one in my case. So... Now I'm replicating this build. First of all, I'm not sure if I've got this saved up. I'm gonna quickly make a screenshot of this and then a screenshot of the god skills here. I'm pretty sure I've got screenshots, but in case I've deleted them, I'd rather have that stuff saved up. Okay, save. Now we will change it. We are emulating this one on this one. And did I miss anything? I think it looks exactly the same. Oh no, my bad. My bad. Damage to champions damage. Or cost. Actually, let's take this damage to champions. I mean, the cost reduction is not bad. It could work on this setup. Getting that cost reduction. Or getting... what else can I get? Yeah, there isn't anything much better. Let's stick to damage and damage to champions though. Now, for the items. We will take Scepter of Ice, Rift Eater. Oh, we don't need Ring of Dexterity. That's something I missed. I could have optimized it without Ring of Dexterity. Ring of Dexterity I only use when I'm doing damage with the Phantom Blade. So instead of Ring of Dex, Dragon Ring is not bad for survivability, but I'm gonna go DPS. DPS mode, so I need Ring of Cain. The shitty part is I don't have a good Ring of Cain. Or maybe I do. I need to compare. Just a moment. I need to compare. So I'm losing fat damage, but I'm winning crit chance. damage over time. I'm losing HP. I don't want to lose flat damage 3000, but we'll do it. Because we're getting 50% extra damage. So let's bless this for... I'm actually losing more flat damage that way, but so be it. Now we're replicating the skills here. Arcane Secrets, Master of Equilibrium, and Fortress of Willpower. That's what we want. Where did it go? And those 3 spare points are perfect because, yeah, with those 3 spare points we were able to make up for the difference between Arcane Binding costing 12 and Binding Wine costing 15. So good thing I didn't get fucked up by the difference. Good thing the 3 points were already as a part. If I did, I would have just downgraded this, but I'd rather keep it fire so we can have mixture between fire and magic. Okay. In fact, this one might get changed later to something ranged. Let's test it. First the tower, and the tower is shitty because I'm starting with a ton of enemies around me. I haven't built my stacks and everything, but let's see how it will work. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit more damage. Instead of 12, I'm seeing 15 million with the Breath of Fire skill. But fuck, I'm taking so much damage. Let's do a regular map and see if I can survive a regular map. I mean, I did get extra damage, but now I think it's gonna be even harder to survive. I'm doing the same benchmark map. But I did squeeze 2-3 extra million damage per tick on the ethereal breath, and I've got the same items equipped. The difference is the Ring of Cain. I didn't have the Bloodlust Orb buff on the previous map yet. Now I have it. I think I can get it to 16-17 million per tick. I definitely need to be dodging those hits. I can't take a hit from a Chaosbane anymore, not with this setup. I could before the changes I made today. Yeah, you have those coach teleports. I still think if you want to be using the Breath of Fire, it's better to sacrifice some damage, but at least be able to hold position for a while. This is the type of skill that keeps you in place. But if you use its distance to your advantage, you should be fine with that one if you're good.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
Almost got one shot.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
I'm also considering replacing this for this one, so we have a fire spell, but I want the health regeneration and energy regeneration, unfortunately, so it's not going to happen.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
You gotta be more mobile with this. Oh, and another thing we need to change, this one. Nearby enemies take more damage and I have minus 10% damage taken, which is probably the reason why I won't change it. Maybe I won't change it for that one reason. That's 10% damage reduction. If I change it, then I'm becoming even more vulnerable, and there isn't another thing to make it worth it, losing that damage reduction. There isn't something that would give me damage to make up for the damage reduction I'm losing. Even though I'm not gonna benefit from the 50% damage to nearby enemies unless someone comes right next to me. Which, when I'm playing a glass cannon, I wanna avoid.
Grant me power! May the winds of magic grant me power!
Ah, no. I didn't want it to attack, I wanted to just move. But yeah, losing those big crits that I was getting from the heroic Binding Light is not worth it. So if you want a build with the Breath of Fire, it's better to just stick to the Morval set. And let enemies get into that circle of the Binding Light. I still think the Binding Light build, the Binding Fortress build is the better one. It may not do as much damage with its fire breath. Like right now I think I did 23 million with it. I think it's hard to tell when there are so many numbers. And with the other one I'm doing less. Much less with the breath, but I'm doing so much more with the other skill. But this is still a viable way to do Chaos 10. It's just more tricky for people who are not used to playing glass cannons. Moment of truth. Which boss did we get? Oh shit. I gotta burst this one before it's too late. It's too late now. Let's reset him. Should have bursted him before that. I wasted my potion. I wasted my potion on the boss before I even needed to use it. And now I'm getting spawn killed. Great. Okay, is it time for round 2?
May the winds of magic grant me power!
Fuck. I'm not gonna be healing as much. See, with the previous build I could face tank it because my healing was better than the damage that those things are doing. The blood fields around him that he does. When he kneels down, he spawns blood pools on the ground next to him. And those things do a ton of damage over time. Those things, the red blood pools.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
Come on, jump. I want him to jump. Fuck. I didn't want him to jump on me. I just wanted him to waste the cooldown.
Winds of magic grant me power!
Fucking butt pools. Yeah. As I suspected, this will be a difficult fight with that setup. I can try a few times.
May the winds of magic grant me power! May the winds of magic grant me power!
Ah. Hit. Okay, got him.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
That was good timing this time.
Winds of magic grant me power!
And that was a tough boss for this setup, for a glass cannon setup. It's you either burst him or you die. If you can burst him before he does his annoying jumps, and if you pay attention to the blood pools, you're fine. What's the time? 25 past midnight. Maybe it's time to stop streaming today. Does anyone want to see me play a different hero, different class before I go? I can probably do 1 or 2 more maps on a different class. If someone wants to see something badly, I can show it now. If not, there's gonna be more tomorrow, unless something else comes up. In fact, let me check if something new was recently released that I might wanna test. Days Gone. Days Gone. I don't think I'm gonna be getting Days Gone. Bloodbond into the Shroud. Oh, that looks interesting. RPG adventure, third-person fantasy 3D. I might try this tomorrow. Yeah, I might try this. Bloodbond into the Shroud tomorrow. But yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. Oh, Rage said he played this like 2 years ago. Coming back to it, he feels completely overwhelmed. Sorry for not noticing this comment until now. If you feel overwhelmed, you can always ask me, you can always PM me or ask in the comment section on my videos. I've got some content that should help new players. There isn't that much in this game to overwhelm you. See, the God skill tree is not as difficult as the passive skill tree in Path of Exile to get used to how things work. The skill tree system is the skill system is pretty simple. Each skill has 3 versions, and some skills have heroic versions that come from items or from armor. So either from offhand, main hand, or from armor that cost 0 points. And then there's god skills and passive god skills, active skills and passive skills, and you just spend your 100 points to make up a setup. That's not that difficult. The item system is the itemization system is super simple in this game. Every class has 4 sets, and a red and a green item of the same set can be combined. So you can have 2 pieces red, 2 pieces green, or 3 pieces, 3 pieces red, 2 pieces green, or the other way around. It's still gonna count as the same set, because the green item is just a stronger version of the red item, like an upgraded version, kind of like ancient items in Diablo 3. Obviously in the end you would want everything green, that's how it is. But yeah, it's not that difficult. You have a main hand, off hand, amulet, and 2 trinkets, and 5 pieces of the equipment of the set. And there's 4 different sets to choose from for every class, each of them giving you a different heroic skill. This one gives me a heroic passive, heroic arcane binding. Then there's this one that gives me binding white heroic. This one gives me step between worlds heroic, and so on. Overall, if you want to play this game as a new player, the best thing to play is Slayer, Mage, or Engineer. Those 3 classes. Those 3 classes, Slayer, Mage, Engineer, are my suggested classes to start with as your first class. One of the 3. You can't go wrong with either of the 3. They all have good builds. They have shit builds, but they have good builds as well. But yeah, tomorrow I'm thinking of testing that one game I mentioned, Bloodbond Into the Shroud, because it looks like a third-person RPG, probably single-player centric. It doesn't seem like a multiplayer game. You will play the role of Astrid, a young Viking witch and daughter of 2 heroes of yore. Raised only by her mother and abandoned by her father, Astrid has been outcast by her village. Our story takes place after a hunt. Astrid has found her village destroyed and her mother missing. Unsure of her own capability, she seeks out her father, Birger. Thus begins Bloodbond Into the Shroud, adventure of self-discovery. Discover the power of Viking inside and the truth behind it all. There's a lot of Viking themed games recently. after the God of War Viking game, and now we have Assassin's Creed with Vikings and Valheim and so many other people making those Viking inspired games. I guess with the success of Vikings the show and Kingdom and some other things like that, people got inspired a few years ago to start making games, and now the fruit of their labor is playable. So yeah, this game seems like it will be fun, and tomorrow I will test it. Bloodbond Into the Shroud. So for today, thanks for watching. I hope you had fun watching me test stuff, do stuff. Until next time, keep it cool and goodbye from me.